Hello. Welcome to Car Expert YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. The XF uses a traditional double wishbone front suspension, with an integral link rear, as well as adaptive dampers. That setup is partly responsible for the keen turn I felt, but even in the sporting modes there's a bit of softness in the dampers. I really have pushed before I feel any of that squish in the underpinnings, and, honestly, the trade-off of very good ride quality is worth the minute amount of roll. There are more evocative colors and textures available than you see in the car I drove and photographed, but even in this staid palette I found the design well executed and the materials good to touch. I'm still not a fan of that rotary shift knob, but even I have to admit that its presentation in the center of a sizable, satin finish wood slab is rather dramatic. High traffic touch points, steering wheel, starter button, door handles, seat backs, etc. feel as though they'll be pleasing drivers until the third generation XJ debuts, at least. The one sour spot in the interior, Jaguar's painfully old infotainment system, is getting a replacement with the all-new In-Control Touch Pro system, sometime in the middle of model year 2016. If you're a low-end gadget user you might be fine with this old, base system. But the larger center screen, all-new virtual instrument display, and better software, I hope, could very well be worth waiting for. On the other hand, I wouldn't bother waiting for the upcoming 2.0-liter turbodiesel engine. After driving the supercharged 3.0-liter V6 that will be available in S models at the start, I'm comfortable giving up the fuel economy. S model V6s produced 380 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, both more than adequate in making the XF feel quicker and faster than ever, well, at least without a V8 under the hood. 60 miles per hour comes up in just over 5 seconds in the rear drive car, and thrust feels readily available from any engine speed. As ever, Jag's 8-speed ZF automatic transmission is well tuned for sporty driving. I set the trends to sport mode and mostly ignore the optional paddle shifters until I really feel like playing on switchback roads. My biggest gripe with the powertrain, and probably with the car overall, is that it doesn't sound enough like a Jaguar should, to my way of hearing. Perhaps I've been spoiled by years of big, purring 5.0-liter V8 Jags, but under aggressive throttle this exhaust doesn't do much to get the pulse rate up. Even trackside at Navarra, I constantly thought my fellow drivers were executing cool-down laps, as they charged into view of the start-finish line. The V6 roar is more like a strident mewing, which is too bad considering this company's filthy rich oral history. Again, Jaguar has made an undeniably competent car to go to war with Audi and BMW and the gang. Frankly, I didn't expect less, though I'm happy that there's another joyful Jag in the world. But the potentially game-changing stuff I mentioned at the top has little to do with driving. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that XF leases will compete with 5 Series rates next year, but I can say that pieces are in place for the gap to shrink. If that happens, the choice between the ubiquitous German Q-Ship and the stylish, lithe XF becomes a lot tougher. I know it would for me. Damn, did Jaguar just make lease rates cool, or have I just had too much Barolo?